course, the gentleman that we talked to got all this set up when we first met in Nashville. Of course, we have Mr. Bruce Tarletsky.
Hey, Bruce.
And of course, the beautiful.
How are you?
Hey guys,
Good.
Yep. You're a little dark there, Bruce. We need some light.
A little backlight.
There we go.
There we go. And of course, that beautiful voice that you heard on that song. Of course, Miss Melissa Duvall is joining us.
She's great.
Hello.
And not to be outdone by the male half of that duo, Mr. Ron Wallace is with us. So,
Hello.
welcome to the show, guys. We appreciate you guys taking the time to come and see us.
Did you hear him?
You bet.
Bruce said he loves the hat.
Oh,
Love that.
some guy just sent this to me in the mail. I don't know who, but I like it.
It was great. We got a little surprise in the mail from you. And I should have worn mine too, but I didn't. I apologize. I don't have the cool headphones that I can wear hats, though.
Well, I'm not wearing the cool headphones either.
I
but-
was gonna say,
You're not.
Yes, you can.
All right, fine.
She
You
totally
can even wear a toboggan.
She lost that excuse.
I did lose it.
Well, High Mountain Breezes, of course. Bruce, do you want to tell everybody and give everybody an idea of what is High Mountain Breezes?
well, I guess the easiest way to say it or to put it is, it's a group of almost lifelong friends that have been together, working together for 20 years plus. And about 15 years ago, I decided I wanted to be a songwriter, and I was going to come to Nashville and be the greatest songwriter Nashville had ever seen. That lasted about 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But, the one thing that did happen was I got to meet some fine folks who stuck with me through thick and thin. And then about 10 years ago, we decided that we would create a place where everybody could come together and create music for themselves. Everybody that's involved with the High Mountain Breezes, as you mentioned, B-Dawg, they've played for everybody. And this is a chance where they come together and we all get to get in the sandbox and play together and make our own music.
Right.
That's basically what it's all about.
That is awesome. And, you said for a long time, how long have you guys actually been, like I said, around Nashville? I know it's a long, long time. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, Ron and Melissa answer that one.
Crickets.
I was like, hello, is this thing on? Go ahead.
Go ahead, Melissa.
Okay, I've been here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I've been here since 2002. I moved here, so a long time.
Well, and you, like I said, you guys.
And Ron, you've been doing it a long time. You've got
I'm sorry.
He's got
You had
feet.
Well,
1987.
1987. All right. So, Melissa, what's a little bit of your background as far as what you've been involved with and what brought when you got started and things that you've been involved with?
Sure. Okay, well, I'm originally from a little town called Manatee, Mississippi. It's right outside of Tupelo. So, of course, I grew up. My mom played Elvis records like every Saturday. We'd clean the house to Elvis. So I grew up singing in church. My mom was the piano player at our small church, and my dad was the song director. So I've always just been involved in music and just knew that that's kind of what I wanted to do in life, and that was my God-given gift, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
So I just knew I wanted to move to Nashville and give it a shot, and so those are some of my influences: Elvis, and of course country music. I love 90s country. Is what made me want to move to Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
That was the best, right?
For our age, for
Yep.
us Gen Xers, the best decade ever for country
Right?
music.
Yeah.
Well, and so you moved to Nashville, and what year did you say you came to Nashville?
2002.
2002. And since then, it's been nonstop for you.
It has. I've been very blessed to. I can say I have been singing for a living since I moved here.
Oh, wow.
Which I think's unheard of.
That's very fortunate.
But I'm still singing and doing gigs and doing session work, and I feel very blessed that I'm still doing it for a living.
Well, what they say, if you do what you love, you're not working, are you?
Exactly.
Well, Ron over there, 1978
87.
or 87. I'm sorry. I don't want to make you any older than you are.
Sorry.
My dyslexia kicked in right there.
Okay, I got it.
So, where do you originally hail from, and what really got you into making that move into music?
Born in Florida, grew up in Kansas City, Missouri. Well, it's just something I just always wanted to do. I've been playing I had a band since I was 12 or 13 years old, all of us the same age. Our parents hauling all our gear to the Moose clubs and the Eagles clubs and the VFWs and
That's cool.
sitting out there and watching us and taking care of us. So it was just always what I wanted to do. I did a short stint in the Air Force for 4 years after high school. And then I moved to Branson, Missouri for a season, and then I moved straight to Nashville and got here and did everything that you could do, live gigs. I ran into and met a young kid who was new to town back then named Tim McGraw. I played in his band for a while he was still unsigned, and we were driving around in a van pulling a trailer, and then stayed with him shortly after he was signed, and then left the band because I had come here to do my own thing. Started, getting a demo here, demo there. Found that I had a knack for being able to interpret other people's songs, and then more people started using me, and that became, my bread and butter. Then was signed to Sony as an artist in 1994. Did a couple of years on the label there. But been very fortunate to be able to carve out a living in the studio, and I'm a songwriter as well, and that's kind of the short story.
All right, Bruce, and of course, we talked a little bit about your background, but you want to let everybody else in on it?
Well, you bet. I'm not like these fine folks. My background is not in music. My love has been always in music. I was an Air Force brat. Moved all over the place. My dad absolutely loved music, and his claim to fame was that he got to be one of Les Brown's renowns in the big band. And I think music for the longest time was a big part of what I enjoyed. And I guess about 15 years ago, what I refer to as my day job, I was doing some work down with the athletic department at the University of Kansas, and met a gentleman there who said, "Boy, you really like music, country music, don't you?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Do you ever think about writing a song?" So I said, "I'll do that." So I wrote my first song, and it was god awful. It was probably 6 pages long. And I took it back to him. I said, "Check this out." And the rest was history. But was convinced to come to Nashville and do some demos, which I did. And that's where we met all these folks who are now still part of the HMB Players. And did the demo scene. And Melissa actually played did the vocals of my very first demos back in 2010, I think it was. And those were awful songs too, but she made them sound amazing. So I spent my time in Nashville trying to just learn what it was all about. And what was my role. And as I went through time, I started to realize that it was more about relationships and bringing these people together who were very dear friends. So I used to think that they would see each other all the time because they're in Nashville, but they really didn't. And a lot of times they only saw each other when they came in to do one of our sessions, and you could feel the chemistry in the studio when they all walked in. And I knew then that there was something very, very special there. And, I'm sorry about the lighting here. I mean, fix this if I could.
Got the silhouette. It's like you're in witness protection.
There you go.
A dear friend of mine, Deborah Allen. I think you all know Deborah Allen. She's a famous songwriter. And Deborah told me once, she said, "Bruce, just pay attention to the signs along your path, along your way." And as I did that, again, I started to realize things were different. And one time, I guess about 10 years ago, I was sitting with two of the HMB players, Chris Lusinger and Bob Bullock, at a Starbucks. Melissa and Ron, you know where it is, the one in Franklin right there on the corner. And we were talking, and I said, I used to come to Nashville for my music. And they asked me, so why do you come now? And I said, to be with my friends.
Oh,
And that sums up my experience. Now I just kind of sit back and watch these amazing people do what they love to do, and they're doing it for themselves. So that's my claim.
We're kind of the same way, is that we have so many friends that we have made through just music and doing the radio and coming over to CMA Fest. We've met so many talented singer-songwriters, and now that's the way it is for us. When we come to Nashville, we're coming over to see friends and have a good time and connect and things like that. So I can definitely understand how you feel about that, because you do those relationships are going to last longer a lot of times than some of the songs themselves, and then occasionally you get those few songs that those carry on for a long, long time. And I'll tell you, talking about songs that'll carry on for a long, long time, the job that Ron and Melissa did on Meet Me in Montana. Beautiful, beautiful. I'll tell you, we absolutely love it. You guys sound fantastic. When he says magic, you guys do sound fantastic together.
yeah, that song has always been one of my absolute favorites. And whenever I was young, I remember it was one of the first ones that taught me how to harmonize whenever I was younger. And normally I'm not huge on remakes like that, but you guys make it your own, and it sounds fantastic.
It was very good.
Yeah, it was so good.
It was fun because. Go ahead, Ron.
No, I was going to say it's sometimes it's delicate when you venture off into that territory and you take on a song that's, very popular and been a hit before. It could go either way. But I think we're very fortunate with this one.
I think I like it better than the original.
Yeah, it went the right way.
And of course, we were told that your version is #1 on the European country chart. So congratulations on that.
That's very exciting.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
very exciting. And it's fun too, because the album project that we just finished is called Contributions, and contributions because of all the contributions that the HMB players have brought to music, but also the songs themselves. And there's a story behind each of the songs, and there's a very neat one about Meet Me in Montana, and that is there's a gentleman that plays percussions on the song, and his name is Eddie Bayers. And Eddie came in and played just a small part of percussions on the song. We wanted to add it, and the neat thing about that was Eddie actually played on the original hit.
Oh, wow.
In Dan Seal, so it was a very special moment for him, and those are the types of things that we really value in what we're trying to do.
And it's so cool to see that side of the business from, people who are veterans in the business. It's really neat to see that relationship side, because as you guys all probably know, Nashville could get kind of cutthroat, but it also can be a big family. And so it's neat to hear you guys talk about it in that way, that the relationships are more important than the fame and everything that you see and hear about on TV and all of those places.
And that you guys just work together to
would
put
be
out
remiss.
fantastic music.
I'm sorry.
And you guys are just
If we
working
didn't
together to put
also
out
mention
fantastic music. Yeah. Go ahead. I think there's a delay there.
We should also. Okay. We should also mention Paul Davis, who wrote the song.
Yes, you bet.
The great Paul
And the
Davis.
fun thing, and the fun thing about it too is we do share it with folks that are involved with the original release of the song, and they get a sense of it too, and they kind of say, yes, that is definitely your version of it, But you don't, like Ron was saying, you really don't know how it's going to go until everybody gets in and starts to lay down the song. And when Ron and Melissa came together, what you two talk about what that was like when you started to lay down the vocals together.
Yeah, it was like, are you done yet? I want to do my part.
Who said that? Melissa or Ron?
Now singing with Melissa is it's a breeze, so I'll let her talk. But I love singing.
Well, I think we've sang a couple demos together, before this, but usually how it works, like I'll come in and sing my part, and then Ron will sing his part on a separate day or something, and we never really see each other. And that's usually how it happens with the musicians as well. We never see each other. So what Bruce has brought to the table is where we all can come into the studio together and collaborate and be creative together and put our own thoughts into it. And so I was on, did we sing on one microphone? I can't remember. Or we had separate microphones, but we were in the room together. And so that just,
room,
yeah, that's so helpful. And then I can follow whatever, trills or how he sings. I can follow that well with him being there,
I would think that would have to be, in a lot of ways, easier.
I don't think so. Though you pick up their vibe and their feeling, whether they're moving and grooving or
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that is awesome.
It truly is. And the fun part is, like I said, when they're all in the cat box the cat box together, the sandbox together, you see everything that the creativity just flows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I know
That's the part I like about it.
it all clumps together.
Yeah.
Pun intended.
Well, I know Melissa has a gig that she's got to get to, but before that happens, we got to talk about the next release from y'all. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. One of the things when I started this project, we wanted to figure out what songs we wanted to do. One of the things that I do is I go to the artists like Melissa and Ron and say, if you had one song to do, what would it be? And Melissa came back and said, I think I really would like to do a Bryan Adams song. It's a classic, and it's Heaven.
Oh,
And she did, and
one of my
Ron
favorites.
provided some background vocals on it. It does drop on Friday, so everybody listening in today is going to get a preview of it. Now, Melissa, if you want to say a few words about how you thought it went and what you think about it.
Oh, well, it's a great song. I've always loved it. It's a power ballad. I'm kind of partial to power ballads, I guess.
You're talking to 80s and 90s kids, yeah.
Exactly. And I think, it was a number one for Bryan in 1985, I think. So it's just a great song. That was a great album. And so when Bruce asked me, I gave him a couple choices, and he actually went with this one. He picked this one. So I'm just excited to be able to sing it. And I think it's a different spin with a female voice on it
Yes.
than what you're used to hearing.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
And B-Dog, one of the things about it when we're talking about when you do someone else's song, what we try to do as a team is, like I said, we try to make it different and make it our own, so that for a younger audience, when they hear it for the first time, it's a fresh new song to them.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things we tried to do with it. And I think we did that with this one.
Well, as somebody who was around that time, I was a high school DJ, so I was spending the original a lot. But even for somebody who knows the original, like I said, the female voice adds a different dynamic to it, and then just your interpretation of it, even knowing the original, it sounds like a fresh new song. So, that's what I love about it, because, like I said, I'm the same way. As if I hear somebody that's doing something more, especially one of my favorites, I'm like a little leery, and it's happened a couple times with artists, and then I've just been pleasantly surprised and just in awe of how just somebody else's interpretation can make that song different and different in a good way. So I tell you, I am privileged that you guys are allowing us to play it before you can buy it, kind of thing, and debut it right here on Tropical Country. So for that, I thank you. And well, Melissa, I'll tell you, before I hit it, do you want to go ahead and introduce it, and then I'll mute you all there until after it's done, then we'll come back and we'll talk a little more about it.
Okay. All right. Well, this is High Mountain Breezes, Heaven, featuring Melissa Duvall
All right.
and Ron Wallace.
was only you and me. We were young and wild and free. Now nothing can take you away from me. We've been down that road before, but that's over now. You keep me coming back for more. Baby, you're all that I want. When you're lying here in my arms, I'm finding it hard to believe we're in heaven. And love is all that I need, and I found it there in your heart. It isn't too hard to see we're in heaven. In your life you find someone who will turn your world around, bring you up when you're feeling down. Yeah, nothing can change what you mean to me. Oh, there's lots that I could say, but just hold me now, 'cause our love will light the way. Baby, you're all that I want. When you're lying here in my arms, I'm finding it hard to believe we're in heaven. Yeah, love is all that I need, and I found it there in your heart. It isn't too hard to see. Something to arrive, for love to come along. Now our dreams are coming true, through the good times and the bad. Yeah, I'll be standing there by you. Oh, baby, you're all that I want. When you're lying here in my arms, I'm finding it hard to believe we're in heaven. And love is all that I need, and I found it there in your heart. It isn't too hard to see we're in heaven. You're all that I want. You're all that I need.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
All right, let's get back over and get them back on the screen here. And here we go. And there.
Wow.
Oh, I'm going to tell you what. You know, they say as you grow older, your tastes get different, and sometimes they mature. Mm-hmm. I believe I like that one better than the Bryan Adams version.
I was thinking the same thing.
Oh, my
For
gosh.
real, yeah. And everybody in the chat is, you know, beautiful. Wowzers. What a beautiful voice. Everybody's loving it. Yeah. You guys did a fantastic job on that.
Absolutely.
Definitely, and kudos to both Ron and Melissa and the HMB players.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, what's so exciting about it is that all the songs that we are releasing on this new project, they're across all genres, and it's the same players and artists doing the songs, and it just shows you the bandwidth of everybody's talent.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
some country style group. No, we're not. We're very grassroots. and that one is very special. We'll see what happens.
Well, I'll tell you what, if I have a feeling that's another number one you guys are going to have on your hands right there, in my opinion, because that is amazing. Now, when you talk about the other players, how many people make up High Mountain Breezes?
Well, the basic, there's probably about 25 of us that are involved in it in one way, shape, form, or another. And we refer to everybody as contributing players and contributing artists because they all have their own careers and contributing songwriters. We have songwriters. We have a marketing digital person. We have an AR person. Everybody that's been very well established in the music industry, and again, they come to the High Mountain Breezes, kind of leave their own legacy, and that's what you're listening to is artists that are leaving their mark, their own individual mark on something. So, pretty cool.
That is really, really cool.
And it's probably really nice for y'all to be able to come in and do what you want to do, the way you want to do it, and be, your own creativity into it and not do what you're told, so to speak.
Absolutely. And the neat thing though too about it, to show the experience level of both Ron and Melissa. Ron mentioned it earlier. I think maybe Melissa you did too. When you're a session artist, you have to interpret the songwriter's desires for that song. And it's not an easy thing to do. And the neat thing about it is when they're done with your song, your demo, you think you've got a number one hit song because of the talent and the efforts that folks like Ron and Melissa put into your songs. And I remember one time, I think I told you guys offline yesterday, Ron did some great demos for us and we loved them so much and asked him, hey, can we release this with you on it? And Ron said, well, that's really not my forte, or it's not my where I am in my life, and that's something that a songwriter needs to think about when they go to a demo session to do a song. What audience is your song speaking to? What age group? Those types of things. And can the session singer really deliver those for you? And if not, they'll tell you no. So,
right,
it's definitely a fun time. So.
Well, I tell you what, from what I hear, I think you should be, the sessions and the behind the scenes, I think you should be right out front in front of a stage, in front of a live audience, because you have that much talent and you just entertain. And I love your interpretations of the songs. And because I'll tell you, for the first time, I really think, like I said, Heaven, it actually touched me. When I was in high school, you hear the song and you'd sing it with whatever girl you were dating with that time or whatever. But for that one point in time, now, like I said, when your taste mature, when you're listening to it and your take
now
on
it really means
now
something.
It actually really means something. And I think that's what it is. And you really touch somebody with the way your interpretation of it is. So congratulations on that. We absolutely love it. And that won't be the last time you'll hear it here on this radio station for sure.
That's right. So how did you guys get into, I know that you guys have to run just real quick. How did you get into doing the session work?
Is that for Melissa?
You want to?
Melissa, you go first.
Well, for me, I had taken a part-time, I had gigs, but I had taken a part-time job at a jewelry store. And I was sitting there all day, bored out of my mind, thinking, if I just sang one demo, I wouldn't have to sit here for 8 hours.
Right?
And so it was just kind of out of necessity. So we had the internet back then. And so I Googled demo singer and a website came up. So I signed up for it. It was called demosinger.com. I don't even know if it's still around. But I signed up for it. I put some music on there and people started hiring me, and really from there it's word of mouth in Nashville. When one person hears you, then they refer you to the next person and so on. And so that's, it just kind of took off, and I've been doing it ever since, and it was the best decision, and no more jewelry store.
Wow. So it's not crazy, because I've looked up online voiceover work, and I thought, these are just scams. So it does actually work.
Yeah.
Melissa's kind of, well, when I say Melissa she's one of the finest demo session singers in Nashville, and I know Melissa, a couple times you were recognized as the female session singer of the year in Nashville.
Yeah.
I think it was.
Congrats.
Oh, wow.
So cool.
Well deserved. Your voice is amazing. It is absolutely beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Any? Do we have any questions out there on the chat with anybody? Because I know we got a lot of people chiming in over there.
I have a quick question for Ron. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Whatever happened to the other kids in your band, in your childhood band?
Didn't.
And me?
Yeah,
Ron.
you, Ron. Yeah, he said about you was in a bunch of bands when you was childhood. You kind of wanted to know, did you keep in touch or?
Yeah. When we were kids, yeah. Well, a couple of the twin brothers, there were twin brothers in the band, and they're still playing music locally in the Kansas City area. And the drummer, I really don't know. I don't think he is, but there's still a couple of the guys are still doing it.
Cool.
Yeah, I think he was wanting to know if anybody else
Never
made
made
the
the move.
trip to Nashville with you.
Yeah.
No. I just decided I was coming, and we were already not a band anymore at that point. I went a different direction in high school. Started playing country music more. They wanted to go more routes, and I was like, I was really at that point. I was really into Waylon Jennings, Hank Williams Jr., and Marshall Tucker Band, and the Southern country, and the influence, and the two of the melting together of the music, and so. I was really headed more country route. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
I came to Nashville. They toured in different things from Missouri for a while and did well, regionally, but they never made the trek to Nashville.
Okay. Thank you.
So, like I said, I know, Melissa, I know you got to get going to a gig. So we'll hurry up. We'll wrap it up. Is there anything else that we didn't cover that you want everybody to know?
I think we appreciate the time and everybody's kind words about our music. It makes us feel very honored and blessed. And if the folks out there want to hear more of our music on YouTube, you can go to our YouTube channel. When you go onto YouTube, you just search High Mountain Breezes, and you're going to get two come up. You'll see one with our blue logo. That's our official page, which has all our videos on it and those things. You'll see another one with one of our Brown album covers, and that's a page. That's a page that YouTube themselves put on, and that has all our songs on it. You can visit highmountainbreezes.com to learn more about who the HMB players are. Follow us on Facebook. That's cool. And then we'll be putting out singles over the next couple of months of the album until we get to the point where we want to stop teasing everybody and we'll throw everything out there. Ron, Melissa, I don't know if you want to add anything.
No, thanks for having us. We appreciate it. And thanks for playing our music.
Well, we are honored that you guys was willing to come on and hang out with us and talk to us, and we're really thankful that you forwarded the music onto us. We hope that you continue to do it so we can put that great music out there and get it in to people's ears and get it in their heads where they want to go buy it.
Yeah.
Oh, you bet.
Thank you, Lou. Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks, folks.
Good luck, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you guys soon. Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate
Bye,
y'all.
guys.
High Mountain Breezes,
Take
everybody.
care.
You too.